Bishop, could you speak to the Episcopal Church's point of view on divorce in the Roman Catholic Church? In order to fully participate in sacraments, if you've been divorced, they require you to go through an annulment process. What is the point of view of the Episcopal Church in that area?
Right. We do have a process for divorce and remarriage. It's a pastoral process. It's not a judicial process. It's in place primarily to make sure that the couple are taking the right steps for a next marriage. There's paperwork that the local priest completes on behalf of the couple. That paperwork comes to me. I review what the priest has done and the material that he or she presents, and then I make my judgment. I think in 12 years of being Bishop of Missouri, I have declined exactly one petition for remarriage. And that was in that particular case, it was because there were multiple divorces and remarriages. It was the only reason.
More to the point, I guess that I'm looking for is, I guess that's true. It would have to be a remarriage in order, even in the Roman Catholic Church, in order to question whether you can participate.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Another question I would have is, what does the Episcopal Church say on same-sex marriages?
We provide rites of blessing for same-sex couples. In those jurisdictions where marriage is legal, some of the bishops allow clergy to preside at same-sex marriages. It's not legal in Missouri. It's unconstitutional. So under certain circumstances, I do permit the use of same-sex blessing in this diocese.
Even though it may not be legal from the laws in Missouri, what's the diocese, the Episcopal diocese, point of view on it? What are they promoting?
Right. The Diocese of Missouri has long been a progressive diocese and no different with same-sex relationships. There are gay and lesbian and partnered clergy in our ranks. Same-sex blessings have been going on in this diocese for some 30 years. They were not licit during that time. They are now. So I think that certainly the trajectory of the diocese would be in favor of same-sex blessings and marriage.
So basically, you're not opposed to it?
No.
Okay. And two other things. You mentioned the role of women.
Yes.
And it seemed to me that in your discussion, it's kind of a full participation. Is that correct?
Right.
No limitations?
None.
What's the evidence of that? Do you actually have some ordained women priests in the diocese?
Probably a third of the ranks are women.
And could gays also, and do you have any gays that are appointed as priests?
Yes.
Okay.
They're gay men and lesbians both, rectors of parishes.
And finally, one of the things that, from my perspective, is that Christ in his teaching and his life dealt a lot with those people that were underprivileged, focused on that. Is there can you give any concrete examples of how the Episcopal Church, activities that it has that says that it's focused on the less fortunate?
Right. Many of our parishes, especially in the past 5 or 6 years, have found how important food ministries are And that's really a growing part of our parish's lives. Big parishes, little parishes, they're finding this to be life-giving for them. We're also just about to start up this week in the next neighborhood over in Old North, a community, an intentional community for young adults. They'll sign up to live there for a year at a time in a neighborhood of material need. We have 7 interns who will come, and their purpose is to live there. They're not going in to try to fix it. They're not going in with any particular agenda, but the purpose is to live in the neighborhood and to learn from the people there. They will have day jobs in various not-for-profits around, mostly North City, but in some other venues also. This has generated enormous energy in our diocese.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay, it's real important that you have a question. Please come up and ask the bishop. This is your time.
I think some of this is just trying to understand. I don't want to say the power structure because we've kind of eliminated that idea, but how much do you as an individual bishop have influence versus the Episcopal big umbrella of the Episcopal Church?
Yeah, I think I get what you're trying to ask. The truth is that in the Episcopal Church, a bishop has severely constrained power. For example, I can't appoint priests to go to a parish, and I can't remove them. I have all the authority that I need, but the authority that's entrusted to bishops in the Episcopal Church is relational and it's pastoral. One of the reasons that the Episcopal Church has chosen to have small numerical populations in our dioceses is that we really expect to have the ministries of a bishop available to us, and not just someone who is up yonder. So I'm required by canon law to visit every parish once every 3 years. My rota is actually shorter than that. I usually get around to every place once every 15 months or so. That is enormously valuable. It helps me as bishop. I've been here for 12 years. I basically know the people of the diocese, and they basically know me. That's a good thing. My office does provide assistance to parishes as it might be needed. But to get back to your question, I don't have a lot of power. I can't make you do things, but I work pretty hard to persuade people, and that's all the authority I need.
Good morning, Bishop. In case you didn't get the opportunity earlier, this is my beautiful partner, Mallory. We were both converted to the church this year. So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I just want to make sure that we are on the same page in this arena. You mentioned that the church recognizes same-sex couples. So my question for you is do you recognize them as a union or civil partnership, or do you recognize them as a marriage within the church, and if the state does not? And my second question being, you mentioned that there are certain circumstances in which you personally will issue a blessing. So my question for you being, is it the same in these circumstances for straight and opposite sex or same-sex couples?
Right. This is a brand new thing for us in the Episcopal Church, having sanctioned same-sex blessings available. So I think that during this period of the church's life, that it's important for me to be pretty closely involved with every same-sex blessing that happens. Not to meddle, but to provide support. So what I've said is that before same-sex blessing happens, I want to make sure that the community that it happens in is prepared for it. So I require the community to do some discernment and exploration. Every community who has done that to date has decided to go ahead with same-sex blessings. So I really do trust our communities on that point. And also, I want the pastor to consider each case separately, not just a blanket permission. One of the things that I don't want the Episcopal Church to become is sort of a marriage mill for same-sex blessings. So I want the people to be a part of the community, and not just people who are looking for a pretty place to get married. Nightmare scenario is a priest gets a bright idea on a Saturday afternoon and says, without any consultation in the parish, I think we'll have a same-sex blessing here today. That's begging for trouble, and I'm trying to avoid that.
Thank you very much, Bishop. And if I can ask you to go with our parishioners to the parish hall, they will feed you and give you something to drink.
Excellent.
And you'll be back after the Polish Mass as well.
Good.
So thank you for your questions. If you want to talk to Bishop one-on-one, please make sure to stop by and visit with him at the Polish Heritage Center. Or if you are coming for the Polish Mass, do not worry, he will meet you after the Polish Mass.